Last news, Indonesian girl marries Korean man of her dreams after haters told her it would never work.
A young woman named Vera from Indonesia fell in love with Korean culture, so much so that she moved to South Korea to learn Korean language, and there she met a man named June, who she fell in love with, or they fell in love with each other, and they were married in February of this year. Normally what we do is she does not look at the photos, but you have seen these photos, right?
I have seen them, yes.
So we're gonna look at them together, share them with you. They're very interesting culturally, so that's kind of the reason for doing this.
That and we all love a good love story.
Photo 1.
Okay, this is cute. This is like Nami Island. I believe this is from Winter Sonata, is the drama that took place and is very popular in this location. It looks like they mimicked the entire shot.
This is in the fall, and I would be surprised if it's not Nami Island because you and I have both been there. There's actually a vlog that exists on the internet of you and I traveling there and experiencing all that is Nami Island, and it is a special place. If you are going to treat a girl romantically, you take her to Nami Island.
There's lots of romantical spots for photos there.
Next photo.
Okay, this must be June. He looks kind of Harry Potter-esque.
He's got the Harry Potter vibe working for sure.
Well, June is a graphic designer, so that probably goes into his style as well. He's a very stylish guy and looks to be a really nice guy.
Next photo.
Aw, cute photo of the two of them together. My guess is they're at Seoul Tower.
Why is that?
What? Because you can see the netting behind them.
In the clouds, yeah, you're actually up very high there.
Yeah, where else in Korea, for example, would you be that high up?
And have netting behind you when you take a selfie. Next. Now here is a photo that tells you a story. At one point, he decided to contact her father to say that he wanted to marry her and get his permission. And so they traveled to Jakarta, Indonesia, and this must be her family. The way that this is photoshopped, the two of them are in color and the rest of the family is sitting there in black and white, but it looks like he has a rather large family, and it looks like they are approving of this.
Yes, she's got a very large family that is very approving of this. She, if you don't know, is of the Minang culture, which is predominantly, it's one of the largest matriarchal cultures, that's matriarchal societies that still exists in the world.
Matriarchal meaning the women are in charge?
Matriarchal meaning the women are in charge of land. It's passed down through girls. Land, property, name. Yeah, that's all passed down through the daughters, although men tend to have more of a role in religion and also in government.
Wow, I didn't know that. It does look like they're Muslim though. A few of the women are wearing hijab here, so these women are still part of the matriarchy and they're Muslim?
Yes, it's a culture that also is very Islamic.
So they are Islamic and they're also in charge of the men.
They're not in charge of the men, it's just name is passed down through them and property is passed down through them. So all the money goes through the women.
That's good. Next photo.
Okay, this is their traditional Indonesian wedding.
That's a big crown. Do you know anything about that headpiece?
It's called the Suntiang. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but it's a Suntiang crown. It's very popular and common for Indonesian weddings, particularly of this culture, the Minang culture, to wear that crown when you get married.
It is so common in Korea, and a lot of you might already know this, to have, when a multicultural wedding happens, if it's usually, at least in our experience, it's been a Korean and then someone who is not from Asia. But it can be any sort of different mix of Korean and non-Korean. They always try to do two weddings and it can get very, very pricey. It looks like this is the route that they also took. Possibly two weddings, one in her home country and one in his home country.
That's what the article said. They did two weddings, one in Jakarta and one in Seoul.
And he is completely following their custom, wearing the traditional. I mean, I don't know what any of this refers to because I haven't spent a lot of time in Indonesia, but I imagine it's the same feeling that people have when they look at the hanbok, if they are not familiar with Korean culture, even though the hanbok is, we're very familiar with.
It's very lovely. She looks gorgeous, and they look very happy. Her makeup is on fleek, though. Those eyebrows. Woo!
Next.
Okay, here we go. The traditional Korean wedding.
When I saw this, I couldn't help but notice that the father looks like he might be hiding a bit of displeasure, but actually, this is just how it's like the old-time photos. In old photos all over the world, you had to stand still for a while and you were told not to smile, or not smiling was the culture of photography. It's carried over somewhat into modern Korea with the older generation, so that's just typical. He's not showing you what he's feeling there, whether he's happy or not happy or somewhere in the middle or whatever he's feeling. It's just, you could perceive it as, this isn't the greatest thing. My son, and especially if he's the first son, marrying someone outside of Korea. But actually, you don't know what he's thinking at all.
No, you don't know what he's thinking. I don't really have too much to say to that because I don't know these people, I haven't talked to them, and some people are very traditional and they have a hard time with their children marrying outside of their culture because Korea is such a homogeneous society, but in this case, it looks like their family is all very supportive.
Next photo.
Very nice.
Okay, so this is the opposite of what we just saw, the family in Indonesia wearing the traditional, I guess, wedding apparel. Oh, actually, the mom is in this one too, so she's wearing, oh no, so she's wearing a hanbok and the rest of them, ooh, so they brought the hanbok, so this looks like this was in Indonesia, possibly.
It definitely looks like it could very well be in Indonesia.
Well, judging by the background, the flowers don't tell you anything, but the background being very gold. You and I haven't been to Indonesia, but we've been to Malaysia, we've been to Thailand. Gold and that sort of thing, that looks like we're not used to seeing gold like that in Korea.
We're not. Unless you go to a very expensive, like, Buddhist shrine. And even then, it's usually only the Buddhas. By the way, one thing to note about this photo is standing right next to the bride, between the bride and her future mother-in-law, or her now current mother-in-law. People are saying in the comments, and it looks very similar, that this is the former president of Indonesia, who is named, I'm totally going to botch this name, Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono.
The former president of Indonesia, how did they pull that off? Any idea?
People are saying that she must be very wealthy and is probably a daughter of one of the ministers in government to get the former president to come to her wedding.
Can I just say, when I saw the headpiece, my instinct was to think that she had money or came from money. Not because wearing the headpiece, but I just feel like it was over the top. Like, if you just think about hanbok, it's more of a simple, like, most women aren't wearing gold-plated hanbok. I'm just saying, like, I'm just kind of drawing an analogy or comparison. When you see a huge over-the-top headpiece like that, is that traditional? Are most women in Indonesia getting married like that? My guess would be no.
Well, it is traditional, and it's traditional for this culture in Indonesia, particularly. But this is not a extremely poor society or culture. Like, these people value education, and so they tend to have better roles in government, be a little bit wealthier off. And in the case of her, it looks like she is one of those wealthier people, and she's also, because it's a matriarchal society, is probably going to get all the money from her family.
Last photo.
Aww. That's a very cute photo. That looks like they're both just very happy and enjoying being together.
How are you guys feeling about this? Comments. I know a lot of you probably will say, well, if they're happy, that's all that matters. And the way that the article is written portrays a fairy tale ending like it's already over, even though they just got married a few months ago, and now the real living starts.
As anybody who's ever been married knows, there is no exact fairy tale ending. Life is full of ups and downs and twists and turns, and so the tale is just beginning.
It makes me happy that you and I did not spend a lot of money on our wedding. We made it easier for our future by saving money on our wedding to spend it in other areas. No, I'm just saying, the more I go on in life, the more I find out people didn't do it our way, and I'm not saying our way is better. It just took a lot of pressure off us to spend thousands of dollars, and here they had 2 weddings in 2 different countries. You have to buy airplane tickets, people have to travel both, like, it's very, very expensive. if you have a lot of money, maybe it doesn't matter, but money doesn't matter anyways if you're happy. Right? Right. Comments, you guys. Let us know what you think. Click the like button. Thank you so much for supporting us. Click the bell for notifications. Check out the link to Kgal. And don't forget to subscribe for more Hallyu Back news. That's it. We're out of here. Hasta luego. Bye.